Start in the name of Allah, who is most merciful and kind. My respectable teacher and dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. As you know that we are giving semester through this kind of a video. This is the policy of Sindh University and Sindh University campus Larkana. So first of all, I want to introduction myself. As you know that my name is Parvez Ali Mangi, roll number 27. My batch is BS English 2K19. I have chosen 4 topics and confirmed by a concerned teacher, Madam Ruzwana Jatyal, Department of English Language and Literature. The subject is Functional English. There are 4 topics. I want to mention that. Number 1 is that modals. Number 2, linking verbs. Number 3, summary of Unit 1. This is the topic of first topic of our syllabus. Number 4 is articles. There are 4 topics, and first of all, what is modals? I will mention that the modal topics are that can, could, may, might, should, would, ought to, must. There are modal verbs. I will mention that the first modal is can. Can shows ability, permission, polite, request, possibility. I want to give you example that in slides looks an example that I can speak 2 languages. This is the example of can of modal verbs that says I can speak 2 languages. Number 2 example that can I use your mobile phone please? This is the interrogative sentence which I have used in example that said that can I use your mobile? This is the can of modal verbs. That number 2 is that, let's look on a slide, that could shows ability, permission, possibility, suggestion. This is the this shows that ability. Could shows that ability, permission, possibility, suggestion. That I have given you an example right now. That let's look on slides that could I take your pen please? That this is the ability, permission, possibility, suggestion. That could I take your pen please? This is the interrogative sentence. That number 2 is that you could have called second. This is the example of could. I have mentioned that. The number 3 is that may. May shows that permission, request, strong possibility. This shows that strong possibility. Let's look on the example that may I ask you something? That something is asked by her. That example shows that may I ask you something. Number 2, may I have some water please? That there are the some example of may. That number 4 is that might. Might shows that ask for permission, possibility, asks questions. The might shows I am giving you example in the slides. Let's look on slide that might I invite you to the party? That said might I invite you to the party? This is the example of might. Number 2 example is that might I bring you a glass of water? That This is the mistake that might I bring you a glass of water. I have written that glass, sorry, uh, glass of water. That this is the interrogative sentence that shows the might. Number fifth is that should expressing an opinions, give for advice, expressing an expectations. That the example given below, that number one, I think you should have some rest. This is the expressing an opinion. That number two is that example, what should I say when I speak to him. This is the expressing an expectations. This is the should in modal verbs. That number six, request, conditional, offer, refusal. This is the what I have given you example in slide number one. Would you help me? This is the request. Would you help me? That number one example is that if I had a car, I would drive around the world. This is the offer and conditional refusal. That if I had a car, I would drive around the world. This is the examples of would. Ought to is used to express duty or moral obligations. That I have given you as examples that Parvez ought to go. Number two example is that every citizen ought to do that. This is the examples of ought to. A must is a lost modal verb. That must, necessity, personal obligation, prohibition, certainty. The must shows that necessity, personal obligation, prohibition, certainty. I have given you an example in slides that he is a very ill. You must call a doctor. That this must shows necessity, that he is a very ill. He has necessity that you must call a doctor. This is the example of must. That two example is that I must stop smoking. This says that I must stop smoking. It is a bad for me. This is the prohibition certainty, that I must stop smoking. It is bad. Exactly, it is bad. That this is the prohibition certainty. The number two topic is that linking verbs. Linking verbs are but, however, although. This is the linking verbs. There are the linking verbs. Number one, but defines that. But let's look on slide that but it joins the two clause and it must go before the second clause. Example, I have given you an example that they got trouble but soon they will have a good news. But joins the two clause. That I have given you an example that they got trouble. This is the one clause. But soon they will have a good news. This is the second clause. But combines, but joins. The but word combines, joins two clause. That I have given you example. Hope you understand it. The number two, although. Although we use for join the two clause, it can also at the start of the sentence, and which separate the clause. We can also use in the middle of the sentences. Example means that although he is a young, he has a very grey beard. That although also for joining the two class, although also for joining the two class, it can also at the start of the sentence that I have given you an example. Number 3 is that however. However, it joins two sentences. That however, it means that however joins two sentences. That it is a preceded by a full stop and followed a comma. However joins two sentences in which a middle followed a comma and a full stop. This is the symbol of however. However, that I have given you an example right now. Let's look on slides. The example are given that she loved singing. As you know that she loved singing. However, no one wanted to listen her song. She loved singing, but no one wanted to listen her songs. That shows the however. This is the example of however. That means I have mentioning that. The number 3 topic is that summary of unit 1. This is the 3 topic I have mentioned, that the summary of unit 1. This is the one way road. The summary of unit 1 is shows that there are a one way road in the beach city of that city. The summary of unit 1 is a lesson in our syllabus. That the summary of unit 1 is resident and school in beach road, they are protesting against the road community, that traffic arrangement which have according to the one resident. In front of schools, in front of gardens, there are one way road. Many troubles are facing with the student and residents. Resident protest against their rules and ideas and views about the beach road resident association community, that there are no any road, but there are one road there. The resident are facing and many accident are occurring there. This is the lessons which I have learned from lesson, that there are many traffic on beach road. There are many old men are crossing the road, but road is a single until the government has powers to change in one road in two road, but they are not doing that such kind of a society. As a result, all the road is south to north. This is the roadway. That road leads to south and north. That new arrangement camps there, but any of the government does not any work of their roads. That the resident has arised their issue with many association resident, that BRRA, and there they were conduct a meeting in emergency tonight. This is the summary of unit 1. They should two-way road do two-way road there. This is the summary of unit 1. The number 4 topic is that article. There are two types of articles: definite article, indefinite articles. The topic number 4 are that. First of all, I will mention that usage of definite article. What is definite article? I will mention that. Let's look on slide. That holy books, inventions, historical events, unique place, etc. The will use In the usage of definite article, the is a definite article that the used in the holy books, inventions, historical events, unique place, etc. The example are given the second position. This is the using of the usage of indefinite article a and an. Let's look on slide that both are used with jobs and countable nouns a per an and also singular nouns that they use in a countable nouns a and use also singular noun a and n is also singular noun that use in a countable nouns. That example, a man, a boy, a girl. There are this is the example of indefinite article. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.